Okay, just getting started a few minutes early. This is a time stamp for the beginning of the first Xactimate Crash Course. Pausing recording. Let me hit record here. Now, okay. Matt wasn't on the record, but everyone else will be. How about that? All right, Caleb, where are you from? What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm in Grants Pass, Oregon.
Grants Pass? You're
Yeah.
you're right next door. I'm over in Bend.
Yeah. So,
All
man.
right. All right, we're going to connect. All right, keep going.
Yeah, so I am a division manager for Palm Industries. We're a Southern Oregon-owned restoration company
Okay.
based on the coast, but we just opened up a division here 3 months ago. He sent me out here. And we write all of our own mitts and build backs, but I'm just looking to find, there's a lot. I know this is a powerful tool and there's so much I don't know about it, and just wanting to capture every cost.
Cool. All right. Thanks for being here, man.
Thank you.
I'll do my best for you. How about that? Mr. Paul Stern, where you at?
I am in Southeast Florida, Palm Beach Gardens, which is just outside of West Palm Beach. And I basically am an inspector for a roofer, and I also write estimates for him as well as for another restoration company. And I've been working with Xactimate for several years, but I've never taken any classes on it before, so I have a pretty good handle on it, but I've been told that taking a class kind of opens your eyes as to what you actually don't know about it. So
yeah, I hope so. I hope to make that true for you. Yeah, I didn't take an Xactimate class until 3 years ago, and I've been handling this thing since 2001. So we're in the same boat, my friend. Same boat. All right, welcome, Paul. Jordan Damasco?
Yeah, Damasco.
Damasco. All right. Let me murder that one more time. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm in West Covina, California, and I'm the emergency services coordinator for Allied Restoration. Basically, I oversee the mitigation department, so water, fire, or mold, or not necessarily fire, but mold, and we've been doing the COVID-19 cleanings as well. Basically, what I'm trying to get out of this class is I'm self-taught as well. I've kind of just been shadowing people, learning Xactimate here and there. But I just want to elevate my game to where I'm not getting kickbacks from any adjusters, that everything's pretty straightforward, and that everything that we do out in the field is accounted for and can be just utilize the F9 notes and the macros. I mean, I've just looked at the macros a couple days ago, and I've already started to utilize the organization of them and the verbiage that's being used in the F9 notes. And I think it's taken me to a whole nother level just in the past couple of days. So I can only imagine what actually taking a full course is going to do. So
good. Well, this is not a full course. This is definitely something that's geared towards just giving the rough knowledge, hence the crash course. But I'm sure there's going to be some nuggets in here that we can share with you. And the other Allied, there's two Allieds. Oh, there's one in LA, which is OP Almaraz, and then there's you with Michael Taboyan out of San Francisco. Two very different organizations, two very great organizations. Original rebels, I think. Okay, Dimitri Cochran, introduce yourself. What's up?
Yes, sir. Dimitri Cochran from Lariat Builders Group, based out of El Paso, Texas. We're a water and fire restoration company. I'm the project manager. I oversee most of the construction aspect. Just need to start learning the Xactimate so I can help out my boss and take some of the responsibilities of that off of his shoulders. So
perfect.
Try, see what we can get, see what all we can do, and try to make those quantities the highest as possible so we can be profitable at the end of the day. So,
well, I'm a huge fan of Carlo, so he's a good guy, great guy to work for, I'm assuming.
Yes, sir.
What part of Texas you in?
El Paso. We are right on the westernmost tip of El Paso, bordering New Mexico and Mexico. So
perfect. All right.
On the
good to see you, Dimitri. Kayla, welcome back. Haven't seen you for a month. What's up? Introduce yourself. You got to unmute yourself first, though.
I'm Kayla. I'm from Washington. I work for a mitigation company. I just recently switched to the construction side. And so I'm kind of here just for our new construction manager, gaining any bits of knowledge that I can pass along to him that I do not know yet.
Perfect. Well, between you and I, we will keep him out of trouble, hopefully.
Yeah.
But Rob did, I think he's automatically in trouble from the get-go. All right, this might be someone trying to get into class, so I'm going to take this. Michael Jones, you're next.
Hello, I'm Michael Jones. My position is vice president of the company. I am in Eugene, Oregon. So hello, Grants Pass. I'm just here to see if I can pick up any nuggets that I can pass on to my project managers and estimators.
All right, Greg Jackson, you're next.
Name's Greg Jackson. Nice to meet you, everyone. I'm the GM for Insight Restoration. We are based out of Sandpoint, Idaho, which is North Idaho. And I am here just to get back to some basics, catch anything basic that maybe I need to know, and really in search of any nuggets that there are.
I think Philip Reese, you're next.
Hello, everyone. Phil Reese, 911 Restoration. I'm the owner here of our West Valley franchise in the Phoenix, Arizona area. Just hoping to expand my knowledge base. And I've been sending my estimates out to different consultants currently, and I thought maybe I can start doing some of that and not losing out on some revenue that I should be capturing.
Thanks, Philip. John Simmons, that doesn't look like a John, though.
Yeah, we shared links. I'm actually Marlena Boyce, and I actually work with Paul Stern. However, I'm in Greenville, South Carolina, working for the company in Florida, and I'm a write estimates and project manager. And I've been using Xactimate for about 10 or 11 years, and just seeing what other knowledge I can gain.
Mr. Ben Medeiros.
Yeah, hello. My name's Ben. I'm with Insight Restoration. I work with Greg Jackson. I've been using Xactimate for about 1.5 years now, so I am really interested to pick up any and all nuggets that I can. Speed on how quickly I can create mitigations and repair scopes. Basically, as much knowledge as I can gain is what I am looking to get out of this class, so I can just be more efficient.
Perfect.
Thank you.
That's what we all want. More efficient. Did I just hit that button the wrong time? Okay. Thanks, Ben. Mr. David Wessinger. Wessinger? All right. I'm going to murder everyone's last name today, at least once.
Yeah, so Dave Wissinger. That was pretty close. I'm from just north of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in Oakmont, and I've been using Xactimate. I'm a project manager and an estimator. I've been using Xactimate for about 5 or 6 years. I'm just trying to, like everybody else, trying to pick up some nuggets and maybe be a little bit better at training others and getting them up to speed using Xactimate as well.
Perfect. Thank you, sir. Josh Warren.
Josh Warren, Asheville, North Carolina. I'm the owner, and I've been using Xactimate for probably close to a decade now. Just looking for some tips, nuggets for efficiency, some stuff I can pass along to my guys.
Perfect. I've got something we're going to look at today, the underlay function in Sketch. I think some of you, if you don't know it, will blow your mind. All right, Bess, welcome. Long time no talk. What's it been, 2 days? Maybe?
Hey, how are you?
Good, good. Let everyone know where you're from and what you're hoping to get out of the class.
Hi, I'm Bess Lighty, and I'm the owner of Seaside Restoration Services, and I am in Charleston, South Carolina. I took the Xactimate class through Xactimate, the fundamentals class. It was a great class to learn, for me to get started. The workbook that I purchased with it has really good information for me to refer back to. I hate to sketch, so that's something that I definitely need to work on, and just really want to get out of better F9 notes, more clarity in the F9 notes, and making sure that I hit everything and charge for everything that I need to charge for.
Perfect. Yeah, and before we go too much further, I noticed how Josh turned his video off. That probably will help with your bandwidth issues if you're having bandwidth issues. So if you want to leave your audio on and turn your video off, if you get a slow connection, that would definitely help you. Okay, wait, Raymond Neves.
Hi everyone, it's Raymond Nieves with Next Level Restoration out of Miami. We do water, fire, and mold. We've been doing mitigation for 10 years. We don't use Xactimate, but we're considering moving over to it or starting to use it because we're going to start doing the rebuilds. Generally, we just do the water, fire, and mold. So we give you stability.
Perfect. All right, welcome, Miami. You guys are in the hot seat this season. Something's going to hit. Something's going to hit. All right, Mr. Alex Hahn, how are you?
Hey, how are you guys? My name is Alex. I'm from Vancouver, Canada, and we are a Serpro here. Just want to learn something from Xactimate. Good to see you guys.
Perfect. Yeah. Alex. Perfect. All right, we did Dimitri, David, Michael Jones. Michael Jones?
You already did me, but I'll do it again.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. I was probably on the phone.
Yeah, you were.
Aswani. Okay, Kayla. Matthew Butler. Mr. Butler, did you go yet?
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that. Ricardo. Who hasn't gone? That's probably easier. Who has not introduced themselves yet?
How you doing? My name's Ricardo Garrido. I'm in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I'm just looking to get some, any little extra tips, anything to help increase revenues and learn some new techniques.
Perfect. And then John Simmons. John, have you gone yet? Oh, Raquel Pardo. Nobody? All right, Ron Brown, you're unmuted. What's your story?
Hey, Ron Brown, owner of AmeriPro Restoration in Grand Ledge, Michigan. Just here to learn a little bit more and see what news is out there. So.
Perfect. All right, I think that just about covers it. There's no one in the waiting room that I can see. 23 of you in here, so we're just short of whoever signed up, but it's okay. Oh, Raquel, you got unmuted. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Sorry, I was talking to somebody in the office.
No worries. Where are you from?
Modesto, California.
Oh, okay.
I'm kind of jumping in with 2 feet here, trying to help my boss relieve some stress from him. We do water mitigation all the way from the ground up in buildings. So I'm hoping that I could help him out a little bit and run it from the office part so he could be out in the field.
Perfect. All right. Welcome, Raquel. Think that covers it. Let's go. I'm going to go just full screen here. All right. We're going to rock and roll. My name is Andy McCabe. I've been doing restoration work since late 1998. I don't remember what version of Xactimate it was, but it was probably well before Xactimate 24. We actually started with a DOS-based program to do all our stuff, the company I was working for. But over the years, I came into the Xactimate world, and that became a bigger and bigger part of my role at the restoration companies I was working for. In 2012, I started a company called Claims Delegates, and that company writes Xactimate estimates. And I've been doing that ever since, with a couple brief stints at other restoration companies here and there, and doing some remote consulting. What I found, and the decision I made to make this course was a decision very intentional, because my wife actually asked me last week, so you write Xactimate estimates for people, but you want to teach them how to use it? And I said, absolutely I do. Because the more educated my client is, the better information they give me. So I don't want someone to use my services because they have to, because they don't know Xactimate. I want them to use my services because they know how to use Xactimate and they just don't want to do it. But they need to have a fundamental understanding of what it is and how to use it. So that's what this course is. This course is giving you a fundamental understanding of what Xactimate is and how to use it effectively and efficiently. So I'm going to dive straight into it. For those of you that weren't in the room at the time when I turned it on, I've got the chat group chat window open here. If you want to hook up with anyone here on LinkedIn, which I highly, highly, highly recommend, put your email in there, and then I'll put together a list from that. Or you guys can just pull, I haven't figured out, this is the first time I've given this course, so I haven't figured out these little tiny details, but do with the email list what you will. I'll probably put it in a list later. But hook up with the people in this group. The other restoration people and professionals in your market and outside your market are going to be your biggest resource for your career. If you want to advance your career beyond where you're at, the best way to do that is to hook up with other people that are doing what you want to do, hopefully. Or if you want to own a restoration company someday, network with restoration owners and up your game. We all play to our minimum, we all play to our competition, so raise your competition. If any of you are from the Restoration Rebels, you know that I don't believe in competition. We're all here. We're a brother and sisterhood of poop-sucking professionals, as it were. So let's get right into it. I'm going to try to share my screen. What is Xactimate? Let me pull this up. It's my new fangled iPad interface. Oh, I've got to rehook to that every time. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, can y'all see that? I'm hoping so. All right, is Xactimate a guarantee that you're going to get paid? Is Xactimate legally required to be used on insurance claims? Is Xactimate needed to close or sell jobs? And is Xactimate used outside of restoration? What is your vote? 1, 2, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at that. That even works. Vote in the chat screen which one of those statements you feel is correct, or all of them. Wow, okay. 3 and 4, maybe, okay. All right, that's good enough. I'm going to start at the top. No, using Xactimate is not going to guarantee that you get paid. Actually, sometimes I've used Xactimate and it's drug out payments for years because I use it so well. Is it legally required? No, there is no insurance policy in the land that requires us to use Xactimate or any other estimating software. There's no requirement in the policy. There's no requirement in law. Is it needed to sell closed jobs? I would argue that if you're using the fact that you have Xactimate in order to sell a job, you are not doing an effective job of selling. You need to sell your customers on you. Your customers are buying you and your company. Your customers are not buying some software product that you may or may not use. Is it used outside of restoration? Those of you who answered for, yes, it is, but not very much. Why is that? Why is Xactimate not used outside of restoration? And I say it's about this one, the margins. I've used Xactimate for a number of years. And in Xactimate, I'm shooting for gross margins, 35%, mitigation, 75%. I'm doing real well if I'm hitting 75 gross. For a net, I just lost the tip to my pen. Here we go. We're shooting for a net, and this is in my experience over the last 20 years, lots and lots of different companies. We're looking for a 10 to 12%. Where outside of restoration do you get those margins? I would argue the vast majority of contractors, regular contractors, they're shooting for a 5% net. And they have a really breakout year, they're getting 7%. So why do we need these numbers? Because Xactimate used properly and jobs properly executed will get you your 35% net. That's on repairs, or 35% gross, misspoke, or 75% gross on mitigation. This is your MITs over here. Why do we need those percentages? Because the work we do carries a whole lot of risk. The number one risk we face is not getting paid. Insureds cash out, clients cash out, they take the money and run. Insurance adjusters refuse to pay. Insurance adjusters get you kicked off of jobs. You're responding in the middle of the night, doing dangerous stuff. Let's face it, even with, before COVID, what we did was dangerous. What we did carried a risk, high or low, depending on your PPE level, carried a risk of you contracting serious infection. It's just a dangerous game that we play in. So higher risk, higher reward. That's why contractors outside of the insurance world, they get their 5 to 7% and they're happy, they're doing well. The big guys, the real big guys, 2%. That's the number they operate on. It's like grocery stores because they don't take the risk. So Xactimate was built for us, ostensibly, needing this kind of revenue right there. Let me come back here. Questions so far? If there's questions, raise your hands, or put it in the chat. Raise your hands or put it in the chat. Okay. We're not there yet. I'm back up here. So what I want you to get from this is this. Xactimate is not a sales tool. It's an estimating tool. We use Xactimate to estimate and quantify and qualify the losses and the jobs that we're either just did or the jobs we're about to do. It's not a sales tool. It's not a guarantee of anything. We just use it because that's what is commonly accepted and common practice in our industry. You absolutely can work in restoration and not know a thing about Xactimate. Go time and material. Make up your own billing system because that's what we had before Xactimate took over anyway. So, all right, any questions me stop that. Any questions before I move forward? No, no, no. Okay. Get back here. Okay, let me back up a little bit. Today we're going to cover Xactimate theory, the why, the what, the what. Tomorrow we're going to get into the nitty gritty. We're going to start our mitigation estimate tomorrow. So everything today is just going to be foundational. So we're coming at this problem, this Xactimate problem, from the same perspective, from the same point of view. Wednesday, we're gonna write our repair estimate, and then Thursday we're gonna wrap it all together, answer any questions, and hopefully by Thursday you guys are gonna walk away with your first, or maybe it's not your first, but you're gonna walk away with a mitigation estimate or invoice written the way I like to see it, and a repair estimate written the way I like to see it. So let's get into mitigation versus structure. Let's do that. I'm gonna have to figure out a faster way to do this. Okay, MIT versus STR. When I say STR, I mean structural repairs. I mean the repair after the mitigation's done. You don't have to do the mitigation in order to do the repairs. There's a lot of folks that do one or both, or the mitigation only or structure only. There's a lot of folks that do both. The biggest mindset change that I need to hammer home with every one of my clients is your mitigation invoice is not an estimate. Just because you work up your invoice inside Xactimate estimating program does not make an estimate. You get yourself in trouble when you treat it like an estimate, because that means it's a negotiable document. That means that your client or the adjuster, more often than not, is going to be in a position to say, well, this is just an estimate. I don't think it should estimate that high. You know, you should cut this, cut that, whatever it is. And we don't have time today or this week to go into all the reasons they try to cut your invoices. What a mitigation invoice is cost incurred. You did this work. You or your crews. Your equipment was on site. Your crew took out drywall, took out carpet. You did these things. You extracted water in the middle of the night on a Saturday, on a holiday. Oh man, I was working. This is another reason I got out of the field was I was working in Scottsdale, Arizona, for a service master franchise. And I went, that year I was there, I was out on a call every holiday for 12 months, every single one. So we should not discount that. Don't discount your time away from your family. Don't discount your weekends, your time you should be recharging when you get that other water call. Water calls never come in on Monday morning at 8 o'clock. It's always Friday at 4 p.m. and it's always across town. It's never next door. So this is, there's a lot of reasons why we demand higher margins and why we use Xactimate to achieve those higher margins. It's because we have a lot more risk and we're giving up a whole lot. I lost a year of my life with my family in order to do this job. So it's an invoice, it's cost incurred, and your contract should reflect that. Your understanding with your customer should reflect that. When you go in, if you're not getting the deposit, you should at least set in your client's mind, hey, you are going to have to pay for this. And when they say, well, I turned in an insurance claim, good for you. The bill is still owed. The insurance company doesn't owe it, you do. Just set that straight. Okay, if I hammered that point home hard enough, okay. Let's go to do you all have your Xactimate open on the screen? I'm going to in a moment. Let me show you my perfect estimating setup. When you're working in Xactimate, screen size does matter. You know, of all the things that don't matter, size does matter when it comes to screens. You want to be able to, I have over here, let me stop. Yeah, that's stupid, Andy. What are you doing? Okay. Here we go. So over here is where I open all my PDFs and my photos. Over here is where I do most of my Xactimate. It helps not to have to go from screen to screen to screen from within, you know, doing the Control Tab or Alt Tab to switch. I like to have them both up at the same time. So this is I believe this is a 20, now I think it's 30-inch curved, and this is a 26 pivoted. I found over the years that the bigger screen I got, the faster I was able to work, because I'm not spending time switching between applications trying to find what I want. So I mean, I can have my Matterport scan up over here and just share that with pictures and everything in here. Okay, let's go to, okay, what does it take to get into, before you even write, before we start writing anything, it's about the data. Let's get in there. This is awkward. Apologize. I will come up with a better solution for tomorrow. Okay. Before you do anything in Xactimate, you need to do these 3 steps. You document what you did or what you're about to do. Measure, quantify the things you're about to do. And then scope, define what you're about to do. So what is documentation? Documentation is pictures, of course, but it's way more than that, right? It's you document how much material was removed, document how much extraction was done, document how much equipment was on site and for how long. You need to have a system in place, and I would guess, why don't you type in the chat, what system do you have on the mitigation side of life that you use to document your losses in the field? And this is going to either be used by a project manager or by the restoration water damage tech. Dash, okay. Dry track, okay. Dash and dry track, that'll get you your hygrometrics, right? Your atmospherics and some of your materials. But will dash and dry track give you how much basewater was removed, how much carpet was extracted? Let me know. Job docs, really great system. But here's the problem with job docs. It doesn't have a built-in mitigation function, or does it? You tell me. In Circle, I have a lot of clients that send me everything in Circle. And within Circle, what they do is, well, Circle's got a pretty good, robust, if I was going to advocate for a system, I would say Encircle does a really good job. iRestore also does a really good job. RM and tape recorder. What is that, Raquel? What does that mean?
We use Restoration Manager, and he records everything that he sees on his phone and then sends it to me in the office.
Wow. Okay. Scope sheets. Perfect. Not highly functional job docs. Yeah. Encircle, when it comes to mitigation, Encircle does a better job than job docs. Yeah, not our forever program. So I've listed here some systems. I've got Dash, I've got iRestore. 24 Hour Tech is my personal system that I developed when I was at Service Master. It's a documentation system. You guys will see it in a little bit. It does a real good job of allowing your technicians to get everything down on paper. If they were an app, it would be perfect, but it's not an app because I'm an Xactimate guy, not a computer programmer. Okay, measuring. We've got our documentation plan. What do you guys use to measure? Besides, where's my laser tape? So here's what I used to use for measuring inside and outside, right? This is a laser tape, Bluetooth enabled. This is what I use now for outside, for exterior. Interior, oh, let me show you that. Interior measuring, I do almost exclusively now on the jobs that I do, Matterport camera. So, okay, laser and Matterport, well, of course, best, because I taught you, right? I'm gonna take credit for it at least. David's using Matterport, good, good. A lot of guys using Matterport. I love it. And I know, Kayla, I know you're using Matterport. But even if you are only using this system right here, it's better than nothing. It's better than nothing. Let me show you. Let's see if I can show you an example. Yes, yes, I can. Hold on a second. Of what it used to be like. And this is in the class resources. Scoping, scope and sketch sample. Yes, let's share this. Oh, I lost my screen though. I'm just gonna share this whole screen. This right here is an actual loss I did in 2015. Some initial notes, and then there's my hand sketch done with a laser. Oh, it's upside down. It's all right. You get the picture of it. You need at least this to do your Xactimate estimating. You've got to have a way to get the drawing. And I'll go into why the sketch is so important in a second. And here is the repair scope notes. And this is a sample of the scope note sheet that you guys should have in the resources by room. So that's what it used to look like. Now it looks like, oh, get this up here. It looks like Matterport. Now the Sutherland job is the job we're going to do together as a class. So I'm just going to come in here and we'll do a little intro. Mr. Sutherland runs a big financial services company, and he has a very nice house, or had a very nice house, on an island called Baker's Bay. But then Hurricane Dorian came and had her way with that entire island last year, and he had some damage, had some pretty good damage. But I'm able to take my scan that I did and turn it into a beautiful floor plan. Now, this is not the floor plan. The floor plan is, nope, I'm almost there. Right there. So I didn't have to get a tape measure. I didn't have to write anything down on my pad. I'd let Xactimate do everything. And the reason I did that, not only did it save me a lot of time doing this, but it also saved me time having to go back to this place to find items that I missed. Because I can always, until I decide to delete this file, go back to this house in the Bahamas and look at it. I can even come in here, and this is not an advertisement for Xactimate, so don't get me wrong. I'm sorry, Matterport. But I can even start measuring things. How wide is this? Oh, let me move over here. Doesn't always work the best. Let me get a little perspective on it. How long is this cabinet? Well, let's go here. Go there, 4'10". I would say it's probably 5 feet. How big, hey, how tall are these doors? 8'1". Okay, they're about 8 foot. I have a good friend, David Herring, out of Florida, who is fond of saying, no file goes to court when there's a Matterport involved. The reason that is because this is 100% unadulterated, irrefutable evidence. So, all right, let me come back. Documentation, measuring, scoping. Okay, so we got our measurements. Oh, that's the other thing I didn't show you about the Sutherland house. I got my exterior scope or exterior measurements done with a program called Drone Deploy. Now, where's that file? And Drone Deploy gave me this beautiful report. There's some of the pictures it took. That's a picture the drone actually took autonomously. That's me right there. I launched the drone, hit a button, and I let go of the controls, and it did. It went through. I just drew a big picture around this whole property, and it measured 3 buildings for me into a nice report like that. What I don't like about Drone Deploy is it doesn't give me an ESX file. I've got to take this and scan this in, which I'll show you guys how to do an underlay here. I'm not going to do it on this roof, but I'm really excited in part of the resources you should have in your class resources. Roofshots.com. They are about to launch an app that uses drones to do your own takeoffs. But until you get a drone, you can still use roofshots.com and get the cheapest roof takeoffs in the industry, like half of what EagleView is. Excuse me. So go through that when you get a chance. This is the standard report, but you can say, hey, give me this in Xactimate. And I think it's for, $25 or another $35. You can get it in Xactimate, which is, when I'm charging my client $145 an hour, yeah, $35, well worth the time. And I would invite you to ask yourself, what is your time worth? Can I pay someone to get this roof in Xactimate so I don't have to sketch it and save myself an hour and pay him $35? It's a no-brainer if you ask me. Who here is, okay, let's back up. Stanley Fatmax. Yes, sir, Caleb. I've still got one. I still got one of those. What is the related cost for this Matterport? What is the related cost for this Matter? You mean the whole enchilada all in? Is that what you mean? And don't be shy to ask questions, guys. We're gonna get to everybody. Okay, well, this here plus this tripod plus this case, which if you're hauling it anywhere, you want one with a handle and wheels for sure. I think the camera itself was $3,200, so we're about $5,000 in, all in. Probably a little less than that. But then you've got, I think it's $65, someone correct me if I'm wrong, $45 to every time you upload and process a space, you pay for that. And every time you download a floor plan, you pay for that. And they have what's called a True Sketch product, which they will give you the full Xactimate for starting at $250. So depending on the complication level of the job, oftentimes I will scan it and I will do my own floor plan and I will underlay that floor plan in Xactimate and do my tracing. And I'll show you all how to do that if you don't know how to do that. I will do that because I know it'll take me 20 minutes to sketch it. I don't want to pay them $250. But there was also the Hotel del Coronado. Let me come back over here. And if any of you, come on, where are you at? Yeah, that's the one. That is the one. This room is about 125 feet across. Am I sharing my screen? No, I'm not, am I? Let me try this again. This room is 125 feet across. I think it's close to 20-foot ceilings. And how many different, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different, I mean, how long, I have a guess how long it would have taken me. How long do you think it would have taken you to sketch this in Xactimate? Let's do a pan around while you're answering that question. Wait, Bess, you've got a Matterport on a dolly? That's innovative. I like it. Okay. Okay. Oh, yes, the lights. Yeah, Michael Jones. Yeah, you've got to get, yeah, and where's my lights at? Oh, I don't have them. Okay, so first things first. Let's Matterport this scan. I figure this would have taken me a week, start to finish, Monday to Friday, between initial inspection, sketching by hand, and then trying to get this thing picture perfect in Xactimate. I think it would have taken a week. Me. Yeah, very, very long time. That is, but I paid Matterport $750, which may sound like a lot, but this thing came back into Xactimate picture perfect. I mean, down to the fact that these little pony walls were in there. Let me get here. These little pony walls were in there. These columns were in there. These windows, I mean, it was the facets on this roof were, it was the best $750 I ever spent. Mainly because this was close to a $50 million project all in. It was obviously not the only place in this hotel that was affected. When you're spending even $1 million on a project, $750,000 to get it scanned and in Xactimate, that's just pennies on the dollar, in my opinion. Okay. Lights. This is the extra battery to my light, but I've got Velcro. This will get you the idea what I do for lights. It's a Milwaukee rechargeable flashlight thingy with Velcro on it. I just don't have the actual one. Yeah, the lights, the tripod, the everything else. Oh, and I highly recommend an iPad Pro. You know, no matter what you're running a drone or a Matterport, iPad Pro just has the horsepower and the memory.
Hey, Andy, this is the tripod, the wheels.
Look at that. Oh, wait. Oh, come back here. I'm gonna make you. Oh, I can't. Oh, I can't even center on you. Okay, everyone, look at Beth.
This is the company.
Dolika.
How much was it?
How does the Matterport sit on top of that?
Okay, so I'll just show you this one leg here. See this? You open it up. You put the leg in there. You screw it down.
That's not the tripod. That's the
no,
wheel.
no. The tripod fits into this, and then you just wheel it around instead of picking it up.
Then you lock the wheels down, obviously, to keep it still.
Yeah. Well, I didn't, and it still kept still. But
didn't, and it kept still. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, wow. I did an 11,000 square foot house with it. It was awesome.
That's genius.
Obviously, you have to take it off when you're doing stairs, but wheeling that around versus picking it up and moving it is amazing.
Yeah, if you're not used to it, your arm it'll get tired.
Yeah,
it'll get tired. Okay, let me make sure I've got. Okay, so if Xactimate, we got about 40 minutes left in today's class. I think we're going to do it. If Xactimate is not a sales tool, what is it? Xactimate is a claim settlement tool. We use Xactimate to help settle claims. We use Xactimate to lubricate the process of negotiating with insurance companies in order to get paid faster. So let me show you my bucket of money theory. Yeah, okay, it's on this iPad. Oh, it's not there. It's somewhere else. Hold on. Stick with me. So what we're doing with Xactimate is not estimating an actual project. We are creating a bucket of money so we can spend that bucket of money for our clients. Now I'm looking for this and I can't find it. This is some notes I took when I was on site up with you, Kayla, teaching Rob a little bit about, All right, I'm gonna share my screen. And I'll try to walk you through it. So what we do on the mitigation side, I already went through what we do is create an invoice. This is cost incurred. We don't estimate, we don't guesstimate, and we sure as hell don't negotiate our mitigation invoices. Can you all see that? Give me a thumbs up. Okay. But on the repair side, the STR side, what we do is actually estimate. We take a good guess. And what does regular contractors do? They take their anticipated costs, labor, material, overhead, and they're trying to piece it together and say, I think it's going to be about this. Well, Xactimate, love it or hate it, does a really good job of getting really granular. You can get, there's a reason it's called Xactimate. It's actually really, really precise if you use it correctly. So what do? We create an estimate, and then we use that estimate to create an agreement on the loss scope. What's that mean? It's not the loss amount. It's not the loss severity. It's what is included, what is actually damaged as part of this claim, and what are we going to repair or replace as part of this claim. That is the scope. We make the adjustments to our Xactimate estimate, and then we settle the claim. I always say settle and then sign. What I mean by that is make sure the claim is settled. Make sure you've created this bucket of money here. It's my Picasso-esque drawing. Make sure that you've settled that. You have the bucket of money before you sign a repair contract. So don't enter into a contract with your clients until you know what you're contracting for. You know, California is really hard to do that. You have to, you can't sign a contract that's open-ended in California. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jordan. That's what I think. That's my understanding.
I haven't really had that issue with mitigation, but that's just because it's such a high demand, like you said, where people are just like, my house is flooding, just get it out right now. So.
Yeah. Well, mitigation is tough. But there are folks that they just roll their mitigation contract right into repair contract. You can't do that in California. So once you develop that bucket of money using Xactimate, then you come up with an actual repair scope, which may or may not have anything to do with what you wrote in Xactimate. Let me put it a different way. Just because you wrote it into Xactimate doesn't mean you have to do it, unless you've signed a contract saying you will do it. Case in point, I had flat laid laminate countertops in my bathroom flooded out. I'm not going to go back with flat laid laminate countertops, but my insurance company is only going to give me enough money to go back with flat laid countertops. So what do we end up doing? We end up doing some horse trading with, let's change this and this and this so we'll have enough money left over so I can get granite countertops in my bathroom. That is the actual repair scope. And that, as you can see down here, ignore that bottom part, you develop your contract, you talk to your client, what are we actually going to do? And then you create a change order to that contract. You always want to contract for the total dollar amount, obviously, if you can. You come up with $500,000 for the loss, you settle it out of $500,000, you want to enter a repair contract with your client for $500,000. Now, what you want to do is get away from the scope that you wrote by way of change order. So you change order your way out of that Xactimate estimate into a real scope. And that's how it works. And then as you go, as things happen, yes, change orders are your friend in recon, for sure. Things come up when you're doing repairs. And on the estimate side, the beautiful thing, and this is the one thing that real contractors, and air quotes, real contractors have a hard time understanding, is that we can always supplement. As long as it was unforeseen, and as long as it was part of the loss, part of the cause of loss, we can always supplement for it. Oh man, we found 3 layers of shingles underneath that original layer of shake. Well, we supplement for that. We found asbestos underneath the carpet. That never happens. We supplement for that. Just because you sign a contract at the beginning doesn't lock you into that project no matter what comes up. That's the beauty of insurance. Insurance gives us an out. It gives us a backstop of, hey, there's no way we could have estimated for this, but as part of the loss, we're going to add this as a supplement. All right, home stretch. Let's see how fast I can do this. Let's get into Xactimate real quick, and I'm going to show you some things. You don't need to be in Xactimate, but I'm going to show you, you can. If you've got 2 screens, I invite you to set up 2 screens. Get Xactimate set up. And I'm actually going to throw the Zoom meeting over here. And I'm going to bring Xactimate up here. I had moments before class started, I had someone call me and say, hey, I need you to estimate this. I've got a hexagonal room in the center of a house that I can't figure out how to do. And he was just pulling his hair out trying to figure it out. And I said, oh, you know, just do the underlay. He's like, what do you mean do the underlay? Send it to me. So he sent it to me. I'm going to show you, let me share this screen over here and just walk you through what that looks like. So he sent me an email. Here's the email. Where are you? Oh, you can see all my emails. My secrets are out here. He sent me this file. So what you'll recognize, if you don't, this is an ESX file. This is what a file looks like when you pull it out of Xactimate. I'm going to pull that to my desktop. There it is. Boom. I'm going to come over to Xactimate. I'm going to pull it in here. There we go. Mesky. I think I named it Linda. So let's see how he did. We'll go ahead and continue without a price list. Oh, whoops. Let's continue without a price list. How did he do? Oof. Well, that's what you call an old college try. Okay. So you can see he was trying to get there, just couldn't quite do it, but he did send me some pictures of he sent me pictures that look like this. This is the plans. Can't zoom in on that, but we can use that if you know how to set scale. And he said this line here was 16 feet. So let's just do that. We're going to come in here to sketch. We're going to go to options. We're going to import underlay image. And now let's go find it. Which one was it? 9343. Let's see if that's good enough. expand it as big as possible, zoom in as far as you can. This function here, oh, it's a crappy one, but I think we can still do it. I can't even read those numbers, but he did tell me that this room here was 16 feet on a side. So here we are. The first thing Xactimate asks you to do when you import an underlay image is set the scale. So I'm going to put a line there and a line as close as I can there. And I'm going to set that at 16 feet. Boom, hit OK. Oh, let's move this. Move that out of the way. Oh, come here. See ya. You can select all that. I just draw a box around it, select it, move it with the handle. Okay, so here is the living room. I wish I would have flipped that before I did this, but it doesn't matter because we can always flip the room when we're done. So I'm going to hit R for room, and I'm just going to line this up the best I can. There's that. I'm going to take this all the way to the corner. It's not a perfect drawing because you can see it's not exactly straight, but it doesn't have to be. Don't get caught up in your sketches if it's not perfectly straight, because I would be hard pressed to find any adjuster that could actually do this. So the other thing, so let's double check our work. 16:1, pretty damn close. All right, so you see how we set the scale of the drawing, and every room we trace over the top of it is automatically set. I'm going to use the V here, vertex tool, put it roughly in the middle, and then pull that up. Now, it won't let me do that, but I hold down Shift, and it lets me do that. I'm just grabbing the tool and tracing it up. All right, hit V again, get my vertex roughly in the middle, hold down Shift, and grab that sucker. Boom. And that is pretty darn close. If I want to get really technical with it, I can select this whole thing, come up here, and rotate, free rotate, and get it a little bit more perfect. Oh, I got to hold Shift again. Hold Shift again. There. All right. Everybody catch that? Oh, the Shift button. Yeah. You know what's sad? You know, I'm not to take up too much time. Our industry is so competitive with itself that oftentimes we have people that know stuff that refuse to teach anyone else because they're afraid they're going to know more. I learned that tool. It was a guy I was working with. We ran there was three different teams in the company. And this guy, yeah, he was great at Xactimate. He was great. And I asked him how to do this. He's the one that actually taught me how to do an underlay, but he didn't teach me the shift. I had to find that out somewhere else. And when I did find it out, I went back to him and said, hey, why didn't you tell me? You know what he said? He said, well, I can't give you all my secrets, which is horseshit. All right, we're in this together. Let's share. Okay, so yeah, the shift button, you can do any, I'm gonna do a Control Z because I don't like, if you have things at a weird angle, it's gonna mess up the rest of your sketch. But we can start going from here. Okay, I'm gonna build this other room here. It's gonna be close enough-ish. And I don't even need to measure the rest of this because I know as long as I'm tracing over the top of this, it'll work out. So there's a B as your break tool. I'm going to put a break in here about 4 foot. Imagine that there's a 4 foot kick out here. But then the angles, if you don't like the angle that it defaults to, right? This only has a couple different options, right? You just hold down Shift and you put that thing anywhere you want. Just like that. Okay. How much time we got? I've got a little bit of time. All right, let's keep going. why is this important? Why is it important to get a sketch done? Well, because I don't want to have to measure every single surface in this place. I don't want to. I'm lazy. I could on mitigation, if we flood cut this wall and it flood cut half this wall, technically I could, or if we flood cut half this room, I could just measure that with a tape measure and find out what it is. But with the magic of Xactimate, what did we name that room, by the way? Oops. Go back here. Room 1. Okay, let's call it hex because we can. Okay, I got to slow down. I double clicked. It came up with the room properties. I changed the name. This is also where you change the room height, the ceiling height, the ceiling type, construction. You know, we'll get into this on Wednesday, but if I wanted to automatically do the framing in this room, I just pull down this wall and it's framed. And what you'll see here, once I did that, framed. All right, I take no responsibility for what Tim did to this estimate before I got it. How about that? It should have all my framing stuff in here. Okay, so I'm gonna, that's probably a bad example because it just is. Let's come into my sample project. Actually, let's do one better. I'm gonna pull over some of your guys' projects you sent me. It looks like I got 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is what it looks like. Those of you that data transferred, looks like Paul, Phil, I'm guessing Bess, yes, and Rick. You all data transferred to claims.bend.or, and this is what it looks like. I hit connect. These things came into my exact analysis communications window. We still seeing this? Am I losing anybody? Okay. So what I do is I click the first one and hold down shift. Oh, another one just came through. Look at that. Boom. And hold down shift and click the last one that selects them all. And I go ahead and accept those things. And they may come up in here. They should come up in here. If they don't come up in here, they come up in projects. Your project window shows all your projects. When you're in here, make sure this button is clicked show all. I gave myself fits, not realizing that, you know, one of these was show current user. Well, if it didn't come, if I didn't make it and I'm showing current user, these other things are not going to show up. So always show all. I don't see any good reason not to. Let's go back to Control Center and open up one of these. Let's do this one. I think this is Bess's. Price list cannot be found. Request price list. Ordinarily, yes. We're not talking about pricing this week, but there's a whole nother course in that. Okay, so it just said, would you like a request a price list? And I said yes. It kicked me back out here. What's it want me to do? It wants me to connect again. So it goes back up to exact analysis, gets the data. This is the Florida price list for July. It should come in right here. Accept it. And even if you don't accept it, you open this, again, it'll ask you. All right, boom, we're in. All right, we'll go through all this other stuff. All right, I'm gonna use your sketch to do this one more time. Let's go back here. Import, underlay. Let's try, yeah, I guess let's do this one. This window always comes up small. I like to expand it and then use your mouse wheel, zoom in, and then set my scale. Ish, 16 feet. Hit OK, and there it is. I zoom in again. I'm not gonna make the hexagon room. I'm gonna make the future master edition. Let's do that one. This will give our shift button. When you lay a room, tab will rotate it for you. Tab will rotate everything for you when you're placing it. So that's close-ish. So I'm gonna set it. I'm gonna come back up here to rotate it. Free rotate and hold down shift, and let's get that sucker closer. Anyway, it'll take some time for a few times. All right, it's not perfect, and I'm not gonna go for perfect today. But then I just start adding my rooms. Oh, that's a problem. Okay. Well, that would take too much time, so I'm not gonna do it today.
You just use your shift button right there.
Say what?
Could you apply that shift button right there to rotate it a little bit easier to get it to square up?
I wonder. You know, let's go shift tab. No. Well, we can rotate it, but then it's got to be like perfect before Xactimate will let you line it up. All right, this house is going to give this guy fits because here's what I would do. I would copy this photo 3 different times and make sure the photo is straight before you bring it in. But okay, let's keep moving. Room number 1, I want to put in framing. Control key. All right. What do you think? What are you thinking, Paul? Whoa. What the? Yeah, it's not working.
Just hold the control key down, drag out the room on room 1.
Drag?
Hold the control key down and drag the bottom. Yeah, right there, yeah.
Oh, well, you can, oh.
I think you need to use Control Shift.
There you go.
There we go.
Okay, yep. All right, I like it. So assuming this is lined up properly, hold control and I grab this wall and I have another room. So if I do a break right here, oh, break. And then I want to make, let's break this, let's take that break all the way back. Let's break it here. Oh, fine. Let's get the hallway in here. Oh, whoops. So hallway, we can do the control again, right? Control. Ooh, I like it. I like it. See, even I'm learning something new today. That is a wonderful shortcut. Control. Oh, I'm gonna be doing that all night. Okay, let's reframe this room though. It is framed. What I don't understand is why is it not bringing up my framing variables? Floor, let's try framed. Now it's bringing up framing variables. That's weird that it didn't pull it up here. But here's where we're reframing this whole thing. Okay, well, Xactimate will estimate that for us. And we come back over here and all those framing items are in here already. I don't know why it's not doing the walls correctly today. It just doesn't like me today. But in that room, room number 1, what if I just wanted to pick out half the walls? All right, we're coming up on 15 minutes. I think this is perfect. Okay, let's just make up some items. We're gonna paint 2 coats, but we only want half the walls. Because I have it sketched, I'm able to take the walls, which is W, divide it by 2. What if I wanted to do a 2-foot flood cut? What would that calculation be? Well, it'd be the perimeter of the floor by 2 feet. Whoops, times 2. And hit OK. So let's look at what those variables look like. I'm going to stop sharing and open up my iPad one last time. Okay, so we got walls. We know that. That is your square foot of walls. Now we can do any number of calculations on that wall. We can do W divided by 2, W divided by 4. That's 1/4 of the walls. If you're dealing in, let me move this window over. Can I move this? Yeah, here we go. You guys still see that? Got windows stacked on top of windows. Okay, thank you. So what other variables? I'm just going to go into Xactimate and pull down that calculator. We've got floors and ceilings. So with floors, what's the difference between a floor and a ceiling? The difference between the perimeter of floor and perimeter of ceiling is this space right here. Because the perimeter, I'm sorry, this is F and C. Now we're talking about perimeter of floor or perimeter of ceiling, both variables we can pull out of the sketch. The perimeter of the floor, if you have your doors taken out properly, will be less than the perimeter of your ceiling. What else we got here? Let's see. HH. This is the height of the highest wall. LL, that's one of my favorites. So LL, I use it for closets. Let's say this is the closet. Those are my wonderful double doors. But we got a closet package coming around here, right? The rod closet package. Well, that goes by linear footage in Xactimate. So what do? I do closet package, and for the calculation, I just type LL. And it takes the longest wall and gives me that measurement right there.
Andy, I can't see your drawing.
Oh. Well. Oh, because I took it off the wrong screen. Here I was. Okay. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry about that. I hid it for myself. Okay. So I was talking that whole time and you guys are like, where the F is this guy? Okay, so perimeter, we're talking about perimeter of ceiling. Perimeter of ceiling is going to be more than the perimeter of floor because the floor perimeter takes out the measurement for the door. LL, one of my favorites to use in closets. If this is your closet, this is your closet package. Your rod goes the length of the longest wall. So that'll give me the linear footage of the longest wall. Let me come back into Xactimate. What other calculations do we have that come in handy? Okay, if we had HH, we also have SH. That's the height of the shortest wall. And when you mouse over these calculations in the calculator, it'll show you what they stand for. WC we use a lot especially for painting. That's walls plus ceilings. One of my favorites to use is EW. Because if I have a house built, let's get a house built. And this is our rooms. What EW will give me is the exterior walls, square footage. And I'll show you real quick where to find that. Share one more time. So we have our sketch. Here's our beautiful sketch. But we want to know, let's assume this is the whole house, and we want to paint the exterior of this house or change the siding. We want siding, all right? We're going to do siding and house wrap on the exterior of this house. You can't do the exterior wall function inside any one room. We can come in here to room 1, and let's just do siding. I don't know these very well. And we're going to get into this tomorrow. Let's do board and batten, cedar, why not? And if it'll let me do walls. That'll do all the walls on the inside of that room. But it will not let me do exterior walls. It should give me an error. Yeah. Because when you're inside these rooms, Xactimate doesn't know what the exterior wall is. But, what's this? SDG BABC. I come up here to main level. I type in the same thing, SDG BA, if I can type, SDG BAB, and I do EW. Comes up with the calculation already, 818 square foot. So as long as you're in the main level here, you can use the exterior wall function to give you that. And here's this, you can see here, this is room level calculations. This is level. Level means this. Level means this. And you can always add another level, right? This is the roof level. So as long as we're in this main level or the roof level, we can pull the aggregate, the level calculations. Let's come back in here. What other stuff can we do on the level? Exterior walls, square feet of interior walls. So you separate those two items. Linear feet of exterior wall perimeter, that could come in all kinds of handy. Square feet of all floors. Okay, so this is where I do a lot of my stuff. If I'm just doing global stuff, I'll do it all in the main level and use this square feet of all floors here. Okay. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Evernote, Jordan, huge fan. And I've got guys send me pictures of their hand sketches in Evernote, and I'd use that Evernote picture and I bring that into Xactimate. Okay, what function apply? Other floor protection? Absolutely. Floor protection, rolled goods. Not to get too deep. We're almost on a time. I like to do rolled goods in Sketch. Let's put a door here. Let me just show you how I do rolled goods. Let's do FCC, and we're going to go into the search function tomorrow. Let's just do carpet. I'm going to do it. Here's a little preview for you. For those of you who do this, let me know if you know how to do this. Okay, what just happened? I picked my carpet in my search. I searched for carpet and I found it. Before I placed that carpet, I right-clicked and it brought up this window. What is in this window? What's in this window is everything that's related to that. Am I doing pad? Yeah, I guess I am doing pad. I'll click that. Let's do our water function. Let's do our pulling it out function while we're here. Let's do that. And what you'll see once we click on here, let's just leave that. And then we just drop it. And we drop it. And we drop it. And that's it. We go back into our estimate. We can see the carpet. It separates out the removal and the replacement of the carpet. But look at this calculation. This is a calculation you can type in. If you if you don't want to go into the sketch function. So FLR underscore RPL, flooring replace. What this does is it figures in your flooring cuts. That's why this number, removal number, is 232 square feet, but the replacement number is 319 square feet. And if you're doing flooring at all, I invite you to go into your options. Yeah. And go to preferences and go to your flooring properties. You want to reduce you want to put your maximum fill pieces at 1. I think the default is 4. What that does is it ends up cutting up your flooring. So you use more of the material, but you have way more seams. So get this down to a reasonable level. That's, once again, I went into sketch, preferences, actually sketch options, preferences, and then flooring properties. Maximum fill pieces 1. So you can come in here and you can see your flooring cuts. There's 1 seam in there, no seams in those 2 rooms. Perfect. What if we don't want to run the carpet that direction? We come in and we change the flooring orientation. Let's run it that direction, see where our cuts are. It makes an ugly cut in that hallway, but that's how you do that. I'm gonna move that back because it figures 12-foot goods. The machine figures out 12-foot goods, and as long as you're not reusing the waste, your calculation, it tells you you're gonna have more. You're gonna have the right number of material to order based on that. And I've gone round and round with adjusters on. Well, you have twice the flooring in that closet. You know, twice the carpet in that closet than the actual square foot of carpet. And I said, yes, I do. But I got to buy all 12 feet of that roll. I can't just buy half of that. And then you can argue whether or not they should pay for all the additional labor. And I'll have that conversation all day. I am willing to give up labor on that, but I'm not willing to give up the material costs at all. Okay, so floor protection, same thing. Let's do floor protection in this room. Actually, I take that back. I don't know if Xactimate figures flooring protection by the flat goods. Let's see. It's self-adhesive. The regular floor is 232. Okay, let's try this. FLR, RPL. No, does not work. Only rolled goods, only actual rolled flooring. Ron Brown, where were you? Okay, get in the room. Let's open it up. We're at time now, but I want to make sure we have some time to answer some questions. Tomorrow we're going to get nitty-gritty. Tomorrow we're going to go a lot more granular, but it was important that we set the groundwork today and just kind of get the feel for it. All right, so is anyone's brain melting yet? And grab my iced tea. Really? You guys are professionals already? Okay, I get you. I see how you roll. Yes, you will get the recording. Not today. Probably not even next week. It's going to take me some time to edit it down to a digestible format, or digestible, because we don't want all the ancillary stuff. We just want to go chunk by chunk. So it will be edited. It will be an actual course that I will sell, and you will have access to it for free. I was a little too quick. Yes, I know. I'm sorry, Bess. Gotta keep going. But that's the beauty of this. It is recorded. I hope y'all are taking notes. You're going to have copies of all my notes. But this is a crash course. We're going to hit this thing, crash into it, and get through the other side and pick up the pieces when we get there. It'll be, it's good. So right now today, I want you to, when you hang up or when you log off, I want you to grab your notepad if you don't have it already, and write down any questions you have about what we covered and anything that you think we should have covered and you want to get covered first thing tomorrow. We're going to hit the first thing tomorrow. I'm going to answer all those questions that you wrote down right now. And then we're going to start fresh. Tomorrow we will sketch and write a mitigation invoice, and it's going to be glorious. Go ahead,
I
Caleb.
do have a quick question. I thought that I sent you, I thought that I did a data transfer, but it must not have gone through. If you didn't receive one of those from us yet, should we still try, or is it not really relevant?
No, I just wanted, the purpose was to get you in,
Okay.
get you into the system and just start messing with it.
Okay.
I do have, I think I'm looking at Bess's right now. Let me show you that function before I go. One more time. Here we go. Sharing screen. So Bess, I believe this is yours. I'll be able to tell if I right click on this info, Rick. Oh, I was way off. Unless Bess has a Rick in her office. Right here, you can see who wrote this. And I'll see if I can show you an estimate audit printout later on. You can see who changed and added and manipulated estimates from creation, from cradle to grave. And it comes in really handy when you're doing lawsuits and appraisals. But, okay, so Rick, you sent this to me, but I am going to send it back to you. All right. I opened it too many times. So I got this via data transfer. I'm going to, oh, never mind. No, I don't want to go through all that stuff. If I complete this, let me see which one, let's try this one. If I complete this, fine, just pick this, fine. Just let me do it. Oh, come on. Okay, what else? Oh, water. Okay, now will you let me complete it? Change estimate status to completed. Boom, okay, and I exit. When I hit connect again, it's going to send it back to you. Now, it should have sent it back to you. Now you let me know, Rick, if you, no, it wasn't Rick. Who was that? Whose was that? Michael. You let me know, Michael. Go into your Xactimate, hit connect, and see if that doesn't come through to your inbox. It should. That's how I handle assignments from clients. Contractor connection, whatever else is out there. I'm blanking now. They send the assignment directly to my Xactnet address inside of Exact Analysis. I do my thing, I close it, and it sends it back to them. When you take an assignment out of Xactimate, try to transfer it via ESX file, it corrupts that file and you can no longer use it for your TPA work. I learned that the hard way several times. So, all right. Blank stares, that's good, maybe. Any last minute questions? I really appreciate you guys being here. I hope I'm gonna continue to bring some value for you and not completely waste your time.
Do you like X1?
I haven't. I'm afraid of it, frankly. I am such an old dog, and I see it coming. Next year is going to be the year I have to switch, which means I've got to install it on one of my machines and start using it. So I don't use it. I don't know how to do it in X1 even. I don't even know how to do data transfers. I hear it's similar, but yeah, as with everything, we're going to have to adapt. Are you using X1, Paul?
Yeah, I just downloaded it right before I signed up for this course.
Yes, let's go back to the DOS version, Michael. Let's do that. You and me, the green screen of just monochromatic. Yes. So have you, Paul, have you opened X? Were you trying to follow along at all in X1 just now, or?
No, I got the Xactimate Pro, so I have the online version, so that's still 28, but I think Greg Jackson just asked, do you know a way to do that in X1? And I haven't even gotten into it enough to figure out how exact analysis works inside of it. So
yeah, I'm told that X1 is reverse compatible. You can run 28 files, Xactimate 28 files in X1, but you cannot. I mean, it's not like you can work on it in X1 and then spit it back to Xactimate 28 and work on it in 28. You can't. It doesn't work that way. There's got to be a data transfer function.
So you can transfer. I mean, I can download and send out an ESX. But I do not have the Pro version. But I spent about an hour on the phone with Exact this morning trying to get you an ES or sent through Exact.
Data transfer.
Yeah, and they basically said nope, can't do it. Said even if you get Pro, you can't do it. So it only works if it's all cloud based. So Ben and we can upload to the cloud and pull files that way from each other. But as far as sending it out to another user, not under our company umbrella, they said it's not possible. Which didn't make sense to me because aren't there a bunch of program vendors that get assignments through Exact?
Well, it's probably Exact Analysis then. It probably all happens on the Exact Analysis interface online.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they've taken that away from us. It's all an evil plot, I tell you. It's all made to make us into minions.
And the price list editor is a nightmare.
Oh, can you factor?
I can factor. I have, and I actually have a custom price list as well, based on information that you've taught.
Okay.
And so I did change all my labor trades, but when I did it in 28, and that would be my recommendation before you upgrade, update your price list right before you upgrade, because you can bring your price list over and then you don't have to deal with it for a year.
Well, they add things every month. And okay, so we're done with the official class. I'm more than happy to sit here and chat with anyone who wants to chat. But if you got to go, I'm not going to teach anything else today. But yeah, they add things every month though. So I got to the point where I was putting together custom price lists for clients, and then 3 months would go by and they'd see something pop up. Oh man, I want to use that. Well, shoot, now I got to do a custom price list again. So I just finally came back around to let's just factor it. Let's factor that by components and add your percentages. And your percentage, your markup can be different on your labor than your equipment, than your materials, and just pick that. And that way you get every month you can do that, and it takes you, a minute and a half versus, I mean, it would take me an hour and a half to do these custom price lists. I mean, they were nice because you had the whole roofing versus demo labor thing, the labor efficiencies. I was changing everything to be more, and these folks are making more money, but it was taking me a long time. So, anyone else running custom price lists?
If you guys aren't, please start.
Well, it only affects the global price list if you do pricing feedback, and that's another animal altogether. If you're
absolutely,
but I mean, me asking people to do pricing feedback has just been a nightmare. It's almost a non-starter. That's one thing I didn't cover is the pricing. We'll do that first thing tomorrow. Let's do that first thing tomorrow. Pricing. I actually have it right here. Yeah, where does the pricing come from? We'll eat that first thing tomorrow because it's complicated. It's not straightforward, and there's people having a lot of success in their local small markets changing the overall price list up with pricing feedback. But I think on the bigger markets, on the global scale, it's a drop in the bucket, and just take care of yourself. Do your custom pricing for yourself, but trying to affect the global price list, I don't know if it's worth the effort. What do you think? You disagree, Greg?
Well, our market is completely different since we're rural. Our price list is based on a metropolitan market.
Sure.
And I think I've seen a little bit of feedback change, but I agree with you. Our price list is our price list for our reasons, and I'll have to put some thought into using a factoring, because I'm sure that would save a bunch of battles when an adjuster sees my custom price list name. That's the other thing X1 doesn't let you do is use a similar name to the price list. So where I would input, like I would just take their price list and I would input our company initials IR into the middle of it, I think right before the underscore. X1 will not let you do it. It says that is too similar to the existing price list.
Dirty dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Oh, they're just owned. They are owned by the couriers, and it's dirty. All right. For y'all, they're still in the room. You want to see factoring real quick?
Sure.
All right. Because I don't think it's something we really need to cover as part of the class, but since I got you.
Ask a quick question while you're pulling that up.
Yeah. Yeah.
That when you did the calculation, the FLR underscore RMB
RPL
with the and RPL, does that apply to say you want to do like a drywall? Do they factor in? Is there a way to factor in waste for like a drywall replacement?
Nope.
If, let's say there isn't. No.
There's some waste built in, and that's what we'll go into the price list and the components tomorrow first thing. But no, it doesn't do like, I know what you're saying. You want to do 32 square foot.
Yeah, exactly.
Like 12-foot goods versus 32 square foot at a time, because you can't buy half a sheet of rock.
Right.
I get that. There's some waste built in, and we'll look at those. We can look at the waste right now. But it's not similar. It's only flooring, rolled vinyl, rolled carpet. It's not even for wood flooring. It doesn't do wood flooring the same way. So you can see this, right? This is the Ventura, California. This is the one I just downloaded. So before I factor it, I have to duplicate it. So I'm going to right click and duplicate. And I'm doing exactly what you did. You said I usually just put CD in there for claims delegates. That's a weird price list, though. That's not even, doesn't even follow the nomenclature of normal price lists. Anyway, so I'm going to come in here. I'm going to factor this sucker. It's as easy as right-clicking, factor, and I like to do component prices. I think if you do unit prices, it's just one global. Yeah, it's just one global factoring. I don't think that's precise enough, and it's too easy to figure out. You globally factor your price list, and an adjuster is able to figure out that you're 17% higher across the board. They're gonna, it's too easy. Let's not make it that easy. Let's factor it by component. So I can do my labor, material, and equipment. I don't usually mess with market conditions, but you can. So like if you want to boost this, let's boost our labor by 5%. Let's boost our material with COVID and everything else. The material's gone up, right? So let's add 10% to our material. And equipment hasn't moved in years, so let's go 15%. And market conditions are weird. Let's add a 3% boost. That's it. So on your labor, it's going to be 5% higher. On your material, it's going to be 10% higher. But when you have components that are material and labor combined, it's going to be very, very hard for anyone to figure out what you did. It's just pricing is different. And it's easier to defend, hey, my pricing is different because I price my stuff, as opposed to, oh, I just took whatever it was and added 20%. you know, and that's it. I just factored that price list by those percentages. It's a big difference. I would caution everybody to keep it below 15% on any one category, because it's gonna be, you don't want to be too far out. You don't want to be too far out of the bell curve. You're just asking for trouble. But if you just do your equipment by 15%, I had to make a huge, if you're doing mitigation only and just boost your equipment by 15%, you're gonna be making a whole lot more money. And I think everyone should do it, because air mover's been $27.50 for what, 5 years? And before that it was $25 for the previous 10 years. All right, well, cool. Anything else? Okay. Well, you East Coasters, way to stick in there. And you West Coasters, you're welcome for having an early day off of work. All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow, 1:30 Pacific, 4:30 Eastern.